You know that feeling when a relationship looks picture perfect on the outside, but on the inside, it just feels empty? Well, that's exactly the tension we're diving into today with aeur's song Lustral. It's this incredible look at that classic conflict between what's real and what's just for show. In the song, it just jumps right in. No messing around. The first thing we hear is this line. Could look so good, yet be so fake. Wow. I mean, that just perfectly nails that feeling, right? A beautiful, shiny surface, but underneath it all, it's just hollow, insincere. And honestly, this one idea, it's the bedrock for the entire emotional roller coaster of this song. Okay, so how does this tension actually play out in the song? Well, it all starts with what you could call the performance of perfection. You know, that constant, exhausting work it takes to keep up a flawless but totally fake front. So the lyrics, they give us this image of someone just striving to be this perfect ideal. The line, to be that star, it's not just about, being successful. It's about being seen as perfect, as desirable. It's all a performance, right? A carefully constructed image that's meant to be admired, but maybe never really truly known.
And that leads us straight to this key idea, the facade. I mean, think about it. We've all done it, right? Fake to smile, put on a brave face, anything to hide what's really going on. The song is telling us this isn't just a now and then thing. It's a constant, draining, all-the-time performance.
But here's the real twist, the kicker. All of this effort, all this hard work, it's not for some genuine, amazing connection. Nope. It's all for a love that feels completely unsatisfying. A love that, deep down, is secretly and intensely hated. And this all builds up to the central paradox of the song, this crazy contradiction. It's that feeling of being pulled towards a connection that, at the very same time, is causing you so much pain. This is what the song calls the love you hate. This is where that inner conflict just becomes crystal clear. On one hand, you have this admission. Yeah, you really look good. But that compliment gets immediately flipped on its head by this devastating reality. It's all for that love you hate. The whiplash you get between those two feelings, man, it's just so powerful. And that brings us right to the chorus. Now, when you first hear, I don't really want to look at you, you might think, okay, that's just avoidance. But it's so much deeper than that. It's really a kind of emotional self-defense against all the fakeness. Yeah, it's like an emotional shield. Because think about it, really looking at the person means you have to face all that pain, all the inauthenticity head on. It's just easier to, not look. It's a way of protecting yourself from that crushing disappointment. But there's a catch. There's one condition for lowering that shield. The narrator is basically pleading for some realness, saying, look, I'll let my guard down, but only if you really want me to. What they're really asking is this finally it? Is this going to be real? So you gotta wonder, why is this shield even there in the first place? Well, the song gives us a hint. It suggests it was built out of a past disappointment. We get this flashback, this ghost of a love that was just as pretty on the outside and just as empty on the inside. And this past love, it was a total illusion. The lyrics paint it as this idealized thing, something that came from up above. But the hard truth was, the other person, she didn't really care. And the part that just breaks your heart is this self-awareness. The narrator admits they saw it all coming. They already knew the deal, but they went for it anyway. And see, this old wound, this past hurt, it explains everything that's happening now. It's where all the turmoil comes from. It's the whole reason for that emotional shield. That fear of going through that same empty experience all over again. That's what's fueling all the hesitation we're hearing in the song. You know, when you're stuck in a cycle like that, a cycle of painful, hollow relationships, it's only natural to want out. And that's exactly where the song goes next, into this dream of escape.
Sometimes I dream I'm someone else. Wow. That line hits hard, doesn't it? It's so much more than just wanting to escape a bad spot. Dreaming of being someone else? That's about wanting to reject the very person you've become, the one who's been shaped and kind of broken by all this emotional pain.
It's a feeling we can all relate to, right? That desire to just shed your skin and run away from a reality that's just gotten too heavy to carry. And yet, even right in the middle of all this hurt, we get this absolutely incredible line, every time I look at you, I want to kiss the sky. It's this tiny, fleeting little glimmer of hope. It suggests that, despite everything, there's still a spark of joy, something transcendent in the connection. But that hope, it's always being snuffed out by the fake reality of the whole situation. So after peeling back all these layers of conflict and pain, the song kind of leaves us hanging with this one crucial question. What's the real price you pay for this constant performance?
And that brings us to the big takeaway here. Lustral isn't just a song about one bad relationship. It's this really profound statement on authenticity and, the masks we all sometimes feel like we have to wear.
When you really listen, the song takes you on this journey, a journey through the pain that comes from that gap between who we really are and who we pretend to be. It ties everything together, that performance of perfection, the ghosts of past heartbreaks, and that deep, desperate hunger for something, anything that's real.
And that's the thought the song leaves us with. It's like it holds up a mirror and asks a really tough question. How often do we chase the love we're conditioned to want? The one that looks good on paper, the picture-perfect one, instead of holding out for a love that actually makes us feel real. A love that finally lets us take off the mask for good.